fellow Earthlings. This is Dave, and another thing with Dave. In this episode, we're going to continue our conversation with the collective. Thanks for tuning in.
Sorry, Juanito, what was that? Come again.
Also, 80% of billionaires, of all millionaires, are new millionaires. It means they started with zero.
Yeah.
And they made $1 million or more.
Yeah. It's
And with the information out there, like YouTube and internet, can be done.
Yep, it's
Just
true.
saying.
The times that we're in.
Think about it.
I guess we were thinking about, when we were initially talking about resources and the planet. When you contribute that early thought, early people had the lion's share. Of course, now, we have a chance of finding this stuff out and getting that opportunity. But early on, all the things that took place from when it was mixed up prior to us being here still lingers and play a
And I just want to mention something. I just want to mention something to Juanito here. He said, millionaires are created. Billionaires are born. Big difference, right? No billionaire is self-made. They had millionaire parents.
Even when they gave Jay-Z, Jay-Z became a billionaire, it was given to him. And who's the other person that reached billionaire status? They're around people that had a whole bunch of money already. The ones we're talking about, the ones that were.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It was not like, unless like Uber.
You didn't create it from nothing. Right.
Exactly. Like Uber, they're like a rare thing, And even then, they got to pay all that back. So they were on the other side of it, but they had their hands on billions almost instantly, only because all the different people, contributed to it so quickly. It wasn't like a prince. Who was that prince that was a trillionaire? But when you think about it, of course, you'd be like a king or a queen. He'd keep people poor, and he'd have everything.
There's probably like three.
Well, those guys started from nothing.
Yeah.
They worked their way up, so that's some bunch of bullshit. Well, Kanye West was middle class, but Jay-Z came from the Marcy Project, so he's like he's a real unique example. So you can't say anything was given to that guy. He had to sell crack to survive.
Nothing was given.
I guess what I'm saying is, eventually he got next to the people that had the money. Because other than that, he would have been like us.
He made $1 million. He made a fuck ton of money selling crack before he ever jumped into the game.
And guess what? It had to come from somebody that had.
Yeah, and he probably hooked up with somebody who had connections, and that's how it works, right? It's, what do they say? It's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's who you know.
Another thing, please stop talking over my shit. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. What I said. You keep talking over me.
Love you, Juanito. Sorry, papi.
Okay, that's how capitalism works.
Yeah.
He worked hard and he got his money. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, wait a minute.
Now you just saying the obvious.
Right now, here's the thing: the simple is complex, and the complex is simple. So we're only kind of like lightly dusting over this whole thing. But
welcome, lover all.
Yeah, if we're talking about having something from scratch and we don't have any value, we walk outside and we're born. We have to understand a few things to create value. If there's a need for us that we want to, have something, and very rarely is someone going to walk up to us and just give us anything. So we have an opportunity to create something, and some people walk into a situation where they actually have something, and typically that's what it is. Like we are when we were born. If our parents keep us, there's something there for us for a while, and then whatever comes from that,
right.
we see later
and
in
so I guess
life.
So I guess Juanito, the real difference we want to make is between the two is just self-made and family money, right? So self-made, there's a lot of rich people that are self-made, but not many really wealthy people.
Yeah, exactly.
The wealth is family money, and if you want to talk wealth, we're talking billionaires and the world's only trillionaires, and we don't even know, you know. Like we don't even know because other countries they don't have to name their shit. They don't have an IRS, right? They don't you don't know what the prince of wherever, you don't know what he owns, right?
Dude, they hate to disclose it for security, and then a
Right,
lot of
for
them
security.
that power, they don't. They say, "Why do I have to say anything?"
Like
Yeah.
you obviously have to get next to people with money to make money. Like, okay, but that's how it works with every business venture. So confused by that statement.
Because we were talking about something earlier, so it's not like you can't make it in the world. It's just what we were talking about earlier. It sounds weird now, and I didn't expound upon anything because, again, we were just dusting over it. We pretty much know that. Yeah, you can get the bag, but from what we were talking about earlier, that's why it sounds a little weird now. And I kind of paid attention to that to myself. I said, as the minutes roll on, it's going to sound even more strange because we're getting so far away from what we were originally talking about.
Right, because we were going deep
People
earlier. Yeah.
keep saying capitalism, Marxism, all that stuff, but it only counts. Like it was okay for your ancestors to come over here and as pretty much illegal immigrants as white people, and everything was okay then. Why is it so bad now?
I got to take this one, dog.
Yeah.
I'm a white dude. So my mom is 100% Irish, right? Her three brothers were born in Ireland. My mom was born here. They did not come as illegal immigrants. They came through Ellis Island, which is why the Statue of Liberty is there. That's where people used to come through. That's why that statue is there. It's the welcoming point, right? So the Irish were looked at as the blacks of Europe, discriminated upon on their own land. England invaded and occupied Ireland and still does. Back when the railroad was being built, they had Irish and Chinese immigrants do it because they didn't want to lose one of their valuable slaves, and they paid way too much money for an ox. But an Irishman or a Chinese were considered disposable.
It was survival of the what?
Of the richest.
Whoever had.
It's right back to what we were talking about. That's deep family money. Deep family money that's able to oppress all these incoming groups, right? The Italians were shit on when they came in. Irish were shit on when they came in. The blacks have always been shit on continuously and then still are, unfortunately. So you guys have, the Native Americans, come on. Do you know two Native Americans?
And that was the short form. This is exciting that we're slowly talking about something that has deep roots to it. Boy, are we hitting the tip of the ice. We're only hitting the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, no, and that was a straight up question to you, Collective. Do you know two Native Americans? I don't.
I happen to do. I happen to. I sure do, as a matter of fact, and that Shoshone and Navajo, as a matter of fact.
Sick. I know one.
So,
Arapaho, but
he said Arapaho.
No. I'm serious. That's the tribe Arapaho. I didn't say a rapper. Oh, come on.
Because I know of the Arapaho, and when he said Arapaho, I'm thinking, okay, there is a Arapaho, but is he saying Arapaho or Arapaho? But see, there we go. That's like life, right? So the beauty of this is the more understanding, which is what our whole conversation initially started out about. Pretty much
trying to understand.
Mind's eye, expanding our mind, thinking about this for real in a way that's not limited in our thinking. Deep and rich. The good thing about what's
Yes,
going
bro.
on, of all the
Yes.
shit show that's taking place, is coming to the understanding of what we know, what we can do better to grow before our short time is up. If anything.
That's it. That's it. And how we can share maybe a couple little nuggets with some people around us to spread that wave outward of love, peace, and change.
Yeah, because the soil
And it,
that we all come from, that carbon, I mean, it's being messed up, and so many people have had a chance to do something, but they weren't in that mindset. And what we were talking about before we got on this whole business and cultural thing, in a sense, was going to another planet with this mindset, taking it to any other rock outside of the
that's
one
it.
that we're dealing with now, with this mindset.
Yeah.
Man, we got to be ready for anything here first.
That's right.
Good thing
That's
to be
right.
able to travel, explore new worlds and tame on frontiers. But when we hear new worlds and tame on new frontiers with this mindset, man, human beings have just been rough. And of
Yeah.
course, that's what we were talking about. So everything else that come
Yeah.
in the middle of that was kind of loosely sprinkled throughout. But I hate to lose our place because that's not where we're at. Trying to be on that one. Welcome that it was in there because it's a part of the conversation, but not the actual thing we're talking about. That's how we got to where we're at now. We're talking about, but this mindset is mankind leaving planet Earth, going to someplace else. Considering that our ecosystem right now is in dire straits. If we're not careful in a short amount of time, years, you may see it. They got those guys yesterday was talking about 2030.
Jesus. 2030?
2030.
That's 9 years, bro.
I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Yeah, that the polar caps, because the polar caps he was showing where it was back in, so he was 93, so he was showing the polar caps in 74, and then he showed them in 2009, and I was like, because with time lapse now, you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
2009 from 74 to 2009, the polar caps. I mean, they got grass on them.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's a documentary. You got a pen and paper handy? Write this one down, dude. You're gonna need to see this. It's called Chasing Ice, and it's an award-winning photographer. Went up there for 5 years. He planted all these motion detecting cameras, time lapse cameras, rather, 21 time lapse cameras on all these different glaciers, and filmed them over 5 years. And he had to go back and replace them. It'll make you cry.
Yeah.
It's that important what we're going through right now, and people don't get it, bro. People don't get it.
It's outside of the grand, outside of most people's vein of thought. That's where we come in. This is the conversation now. Now that we dug up the muck, we're seeing all the stuff that's going on. Coming to some good, solid plans and some togetherness and all of that stuff that we want to have before, or even if we go someplace else. Because right now, in this short amount of time that we have left, if we look at our fingers, that's about 400. That's 100 years. If we do it by quarters, any one of us being born here for some time on their way out contribute a nugget, so that at least in this system we'll have something in the future. Because right now, things of the past.
Let's get these messages out of the way.
Things of the past
so we can
really come into play if we don't get it together. We won't have nothing.
I agree, man. Let's get these messages out of the
Although
way.
I will say, now that you saw the biggest wealth transfer, I don't know how many new millionaires they're going to be. It's going to be way tougher nowadays. Like, this oligarchic system needs to fucking fall. I'm not feeling it. Bunch of bullshit.
See, now you're talking, Juanito. Now we're...
Yeah, there's very few billionaires that didn't have some kind of money in the beginning. Even Elon Musk, though I like Elon Musk a lot, his parents had some money. Bezos, not so much, but they were still middle class, maybe like upper middle class.
I like Elon Musk. Bezos seems like Dr. Evil.
What I'm seeing too is divide and conquer strategies that are working big time. It's a shame what this country's become.
I kind of feel you. Like, I don't know about the whole emasculated part. I feel cool as far as that goes, but I often think that, like, fuck, bring on a comet. Just take us out.
Why go blow the asteroids out? Let it hit. Like you said, the dinosaur is. But I mean, listen, there's hope. Do something, because think of how far we've come. Each tiny cell's a king, and we're comprised of these three small little things that put us all together and make us all the same. Even though there's subtle differences in how we walk this planet, we're connected in so many ways. People forget that.
Body, mind, and spirit, you mean? The three things?
If we were to ever pull our energies together and get some things done, we would see something before we left. and that's hopeful because it's been shown a couple times we do that, But if someone had an issue with someone stepping on someone's foot, or one person bullied somebody out of water, that then becomes a little more challenging because a lot of times simply that's what took place. Think back to caveman, the caveman days.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot to this, and I'm really simplifying this, guys. I mean, work with me for this, but
yeah, no, but yeah, the strongest guy eats first, strongest guy drinks first.
Primal. We can really do some things now, and it's a good time to be able to just hear each other, listen to each other, and work through things because we'll gain understanding. We'll gain understanding that a light switch will come on. Now, it can be detrimental to us depending on what we do with this, or it could be something that will say, you know what, enough. We're going to pull together and go to a place where we can do these things that we wish from our hearts to see in our time, and for generations, put in place for generations to come.
It's emasculated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is emasculated.
I'm usually not a grammar Nazi, but there's certain words that just sound weird to me that just like.
Yeah, I like to say Freudian slip or something like that, but I mean that's emasculated. Just the idea of I had other thought running along with it. Hence the situation we're in right now, because we had Hitler, and every time that comes ahead, it's like, oh, here we go again.
I don't know. I would have liked to think little Donnie was probably a pretty weak baby, all pasty in his little incubator, right? Probably on a fucking on a ventilator, looking all pathetic.
Yeah,
I bet he was.
Watch my buddies watch the football games and what have you, and I said that's the rat race. That's life. And so many levels, football. Watch competitiveness and all that. So many levels of society. I see. It's not like everyone stops the game and goes, "Oh man, great game, buddy." Come on, let's go hang out. Or in the middle of a game, someone gets tackled the hell down. And they, you okay, man? I didn't mean to hit you so damn hard. What a world we live in.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, sorry about that, bro. Great play though, huh?
We ain't giving that
but
shit.
I fucking got you though, huh?
We'd rather destroy the planet, like Vikings.
Yeah, but so, Mr. Collective Sir, what do you think about where we're at with the whole divide and conquer thing? Like this talk of LGBTQIA, they keep adding more things to it. We're debating over which bathroom we should use, over gay marriage. And meanwhile, like these oligarchs are stealing our country. And I'm not saying anything against the LGBTQ. I'm for free, equal rights for everybody, equal pay for everybody, fair treatment for everybody. But I just want to can't we just say that and then move on?
Exactly. I'm like, let's throw it all in the bat. Let's get it all in the hat. It's never going to be fair. There's just some things in life, man. I'm not going to be short. I'm 6'5", unless I get my legs cut off. And
I'll never be tall. I'm fucking 5 foot something.
I mean, there's some shit that just really we got to say. All right, when they said agree to disagree, that seems cliche-ish, but we got to get to that point where what matters. Our heart is beating, despite all of this differences. This air we're breathing, we need it, despite all of our differences. The water,
thank you,
to do something with the water, despite all of our differences. The sun, I mean, there's more commonality that we have to get together on and one-minded, like than being separate. That we should be focusing on that so that we can give the other stuff a chance to heal. We can get to that place, but we got to be focusing on things at the core that are really, 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 really important. And every time we get to that place where we're saying, because we're alive, let's take for granted that we're alive. Remember that I got a flat tire and that son of a bitch threw a rock through my window. And it meant something to me or them. That we take our mind off what matters. Because problems don't go away, they just change form. And every generation forgets while we are constantly going through these incredible changes and tearing this planet up, that we only got a short time to do something that means anything. And if we focus on the wrong shit, that's it. And the next generation gets that turd, or that hot coal, or that explosion, whatever it becomes. I mean, Everybody has gone through some incredible, traumatic experience. I mean, every species on this planet, and our system that we have is reflective of things going on that meant to us. I'm Black American, and I had to reach back in the bag and say, "Listen, I want some understanding for that shit. But right now, we need to focus on this damn planet. I'm gonna focus on this damn planet because I gotta enjoy this it was given to me and have that a part of my plight, but not be the only thing a part of my plight. Because if we don't have anything to live for, what the hell is that going to help me if I'm going to die anyways, and everybody else around me is going to die, and that's all I stand on and stood on. I would want us to say, you know what? Despite as fucked up as crazy this world is, we need the world. I mean, I like to see it. I don't want to be here just because I'm this person and this is what's going on with me in my past or my ancestral past, and just simply die. I'd like to at least have something in place so that I could even do anything with that. See, we got to get our priorities straight. And most of the time,
hey man, I'm glad you're here.
Here are these arguments. I said, people don't stop for a moment and think, when it really matters, we pull together. And we pull together in a way that people take that for granted. Can you imagine?
I can imagine. And you know that song.
Together.
You know the song by John Lennon, Imagine, dude. That says it all. Imagine all the people joining together as one. That it says it all. Imagine no religion.
Yeah.
Imagine no religion, no heaven, no hell, nothing to divide us, right? But what I'm talking about is exactly. I just want to hit on what you said. Thank you so much. That was powerful. What you just said. That was powerful. That was like a sermon, brother.
I laid back on you for a minute because I figured, we just have a light conversation. But literally, I think about this all the time, and the idea of having something where people can connect and kind of have a cartoon or an app where they can just hear a person like we should be able to without a shouting match and looking at the person and say, oh, they got their hair pulled back or got 50 tattoos or they look like they got it together. That's why. No, hear us. Hear the vibration. Hear the tone, the inflection. Listen to the little nuances. Think.
And here's a black dude and a white dude agreeing on shit.
Think.
That's powerful.
Because right now, if the heart stops, what does it matter? Everything drops.
Everything drops.
If the heart stops, everything drops. And that's serious. And what does it matter now? That I went outside and I put a sign and stabbed the fucking ground. And my heart stopped and the sun decided to be this part of the planet because, I had to cut all the trees down. I mean, it seems silly, but it isn't. Think about it. If I wanted to make any kind of point or my son or my daughter to have a chance to make any kind of point, I got to know that there's going to be some fucking trees in place so they can have some shade to write the damn letter that's recyclable to give to anybody to say, hey, keep that voice going. This has been one of my concerns, but I'm on the cause for us to be, people of this planet and this world in a good place, not screw everything else on this planet, blow it up, and then let me have my cause. That's like, what, a car with no gas, killing all the gas off and buying all the cars and saying, okay, now they got my cars and no gas. Which everything is relatable. We got to get to that point to be on what matters the most. I mean,
So I don't know if you've heard about China planting 1 billion trees.
Not yet. But there was a group.
Dude, they're trying to fight back the Gobi Desert, and they're winning. The trees are taking root, and every place they're planting trees, they're removing desert. They're winning. They're doing it. So we can do it. We can do exactly what we're talking about, but it's about getting people together on a like mind and on a priority, right? Like, and here we're being spun out of control with Trump derangement syndrome, right? And I'll be the first to say I'm not a fan of his, but oh my God, like there was a fucked up system in place before the guy got there, right? He just ran it off the rail, but the shit was already there, set up for centuries, running like it had been running.
Centuries.
Obama fucked us, Bush Jr. fucked us, Clinton fucked us, Bush Sr. fucked us, Reagan fucked us, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
We, the people, being the governing body, We weren't there. A lot of people weren't there, and that's sad. That's what I smiled about when it came to that. I said it's funny because we have a chance to be there, like they did when I went to the White House. I said, but most things trigger people to react when they should be triggered anyways, or how do you say, being a part of the process anyways. They should just be triggered. They should be
Right.
part of the process at all times because
Right. Then you don't pay attention to the process until it blows up in your face, and you're going, "Oh, what made that blow up?"
man, then it gets kind of complex, because you just turn around all of a sudden there's some shit going on. I mean, if I haven't been paying attention, I got to put that on me. I can't say, you know what, my parents made that happen or something. I'm really simplifying it because I can really.
No, but see, I've been paying attention my whole life. I'm 53, born in 1967, right after Kennedy was killed, right? Right after both Kennedys were killed, after Martin Luther King was killed by the FBI, and after Malcolm X, questionable. He might have been killed by the FBI as well. Right after that, they took out all the Black Panthers. They either put them in jail or they murdered them all. Then they started attacking the environmental group. And I'm talking about the FBI when I say they. Right, because a lot of people say they, and you don't know who the fuck they're talking about, the elite or something, right? No, this is the FBI. So they cannot be trusted. The deep state is a brutal organization. I did a podcast on this shit called COINTELPRO, and they infiltrated every single progressive group. And the FBI went so far as to say there will never be a progressive government in the United States. Like, motherfucker, that sounds like fascism to me. Right?
Because there's so many games being played. The expression they use, chess, not checkers. Yeah, because they're shaking hands, backdoor deals. I mean, listen, everybody knows their secret space. That's what cracks me up about the different issues that are going on. How you going to turn over? You're going to be a police officer, and for 50 years, exaggerating. Let me bring it back down. Say, okay, 30 years of your life, maybe you were.
We got a new listener, Tosh Marie. Welcome.
Doing narcotics or something, and all of a sudden I'm going to become a police officer and then start beating up on people and everything. Or I'm going to be a police officer and sell drugs. I'm hypothetically speaking, and sometimes it takes place. But people have things that they have a double standard on, and now they're in a moral dilemma. So how can they make a good decision on anything in a situation like that? Now, again, I've rambled over that. My point is going to be CIA, FBI play these kind of games. People play games every day. So we can put a title on it and call it this group, Crips and Blood, CIA, FBI, ABCDEFG. Everybody knows in their secret space there's something that's going on. And then when they come out to try and think about something to make it right or make it fair, they're tainted by the things that they got going on in their secret space. And it's hard for them to really get to something that really, really makes the most sense in the interim. And that's every one of us. If we're not careful, the things that are in our dark spots of our minds will be in our decision making. A lot of times, it's not going to be good for all of us. We've seen it time and time again. Most people aren't honest about that. I just look around,
and that's why I think it's more important now than ever to educate people about the oppressive history of our government.